Do I have anything in my teeth? All right.
You look great.
Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Welcome to the Immersive Lens, the podcast exploring technologies reshaping how we live, work, and learn.
From AI and virtual reality to creative media and design, we are diving into the tools and ideas shaping our connected world.
My name is Paul Engin. Join us as we uncover the people and ideas driving the next wave of interactive experiences.
And I'm Dave Ghidiu. This is the Immersive Lens. And who's at the table with us right now? Yeah, look.
Wait, what? Who is it?
Who we got?
This is Jen Carney.
Hi, Jen. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
It was only 2 weeks ago.
It was only 2 weeks ago. Feels like a lifetime. It's been a busy 2 weeks.
Life without the immersive lens feels long.
It does feel long. I've been listening to the Immersive Lens sometimes on my commute. I feel like I get a lot of Dave and Paul time.
And now you're locked in a room with Dave and Paul. Yeah. And also in the booth, who's in the booth today?
Me. Is that Jeff Kidd?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we are getting the gang back together today. So later in this episode, we are going to be talking about the Vibe Coding Challenge. But prior to that, we have one super quick hot take. And that is on June 10th at Finger Lakes Community College in picturesque Canandaigua, New York, is the second annual community convening of AI. We have all sorts of AI activities. There's going to be prompt engineering. There's going to be image media generation. There's going to be conversations about the environmental impact. There's going to be, what else is going on, Jen?
We're going to have an open lab where people are going to be able to explore AI tools and, and learn with some help.
All sorts of different topics, playgrounds, lunches included. I think it costs $45, which is a steal for the level of AI fun you are going to have. So go to flcc.edu/AI and register today.
Can I even say immersive fun?
It will. We actually have cornered the market here on this podcast of immersive fun.
Okay.
And so
we can't use that.
Well, we could allocate some for June 10th, I
suppose. We'll share.
We'll take it to the shareholders for the Immersive Lens and see if they're want to invest in it or not.
So, Dave, why are we all back here together? What are we going to do? How are you going to start us off?
This is the follow-up to, if you recall, 2 weeks ago that we did the Vibe Coding Challenge where I posed a challenge to you. And before we get started, I do want to go over what those three challenges were. And you could pick 1, 2, or 3. You could not pick 0. You had to do at least one of them. And the three different challenges were: 1, just create an interactive. It needed to be, say, a website or something like that where you can click on things and it might be a story, it might be some narrative, could be a website or a review thing. Category 2 was file handling. So in this particular one, you need to have it either create a file that you could download or you might be required to upload a file. And the third challenge was the webcam challenge. And in this particular one, you needed to use the webcam on the device. So it could be your laptop, your desktop, or your phone or your tablet, and use the webcam to do something. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Sounds right.
So before we get started, I think it's also really important just to kind of revisit that the skill level and the prior level of experience you had all had with programming. So Jen, can you kick us off and just tell us, remind us what your previous programming experience was like? And then also, I'm curious about when you walked out of this room 2 weeks ago, how you're feeling about it.
Sure. So I took one programming class in college, which was, as my students say, back in the 1900s.
Back in the 1900s.
A long time ago. I think it was.
Was your class in black and white?
Yeah, my class was in. No, so for real. My class was in a 200-person lecture hall, and the professor taught programming with a overhead projector that he wrote on with a transparency by hand and projected up front, and we took notes. And then we had to go sit in the basement of a building that had computers with the right stuff and work on our own. So you couldn't even. Things didn't happen in class, right? You didn't see programming happening in class. He just wrote code on a board, right?
That's actually how I teach. We
didn't even have computers there was no computer in the room, right?
That's how I teach. Yeah. Are you saying that was bad?
No, it was a challenge. It was a
yeah,
challenge.
I bet.
Yeah.
The overhead transparency is wild.
Yeah.
So when you left the room, what were you thinking about this AI challenge?
So I'd like to remind our listeners that you handed us a packet of unstapled papers
that we
just loose.
We can edit that out in post.
Right. That was not my favorite. And it had a prompt that we had to cut and paste from the paper into the computer, and the prompt was full of words I did not know, right?
Yeah.
There was a lot of things in there that I still don't know, like ARIA tags and things that I don't know what those mean.
Sure.
So yeah. So I was a little skeptical because I did not understand the prompt.
And so those words, we don't need to go over them now because it's super nerdy and boring, but those are things that if you were vibe coding and you didn't use that stuff, you might run into trouble. It wouldn't be accessible. It might not work on a phone. So if you join the vibe coding class in the fall here at Finger Lakes Community College, then we will go over and kind of decrypt all that. But yeah, that was just I was doing you a favor. I was giving you a leg up.
It was helpful. I just didn't know what any of it meant. So I still don't know what most of it means.
That's fine. We can actually talk about that maybe if we have some time at the end. But and so now before we move to Jeff and then Paul, one last question for you, Jen. How do you feel about vibe coding right now?
I am doing it constantly. So like this morning I got up and I started Claude working on something before I went and brushed my teeth, right? To come back later.
Really?
And look at it. So it's easy and I'm doing it regularly in classes. And so one of the things I'm sharing with you guys today is it's not really part of the challenge. It's just that one of my students was on the volleyball team and they won the national championship. So
Good job, FLCC
Claude
volleyball.
to create a congratulatory page that I could load up into our course so that that would feature him and show his pictures and his stats and stuff.
That's awesome.
So I'm doing it just for fun here and there, right? To build community even, not just for like learning.
Yes, and I'm going to share a text that you sent me privately after with the world now. And it said, out of nowhere, so later that night, you sent me a text that said, shut the front door. I don't need 2 weeks. This is so dang easy. When do I get to share what I've made? Do I have to wait 2 weeks? Aren't you curious? Which is awesome. I was so relieved because I thought you were walking out of this room and you're like, oh boy, what did I get myself into?
Yeah.
So good. I'm glad to hear that you're using it in your daily practice and even while you're brushing your teeth. That's fantastic. All right. So Jeff, can you please remind us of your previous, if any, programming experience?
My previous programming experience is 0.
Okay, so big goose egg. So you were starting from the ground level.
That's correct.
All right. And when we left the recording 2 weeks ago, how were you feeling?
Very anxious, just because I don't. As the video engineer, like I like to know how things work. Oh. I want to know the ins and outs. Like how did this, the video signal get from A to B? What cables were used? What converters did you need to use? Like all the nuts and bolts, nitty gritty. So the idea of basically trusting an AI to do all that for me and it just give me what I want, it was like, I don't know if I'm comfortable with it. I don't know if I like that. That's great, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to like doing that.
Interesting. And so now after the experience, where are you at with as far as your feelings on AI and vibe coding?
I think it's fantastic. It was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. It was really interesting, and maybe we'll get into this a little bit, to see it happening. Like I'm watching the code get generated and it's like the Matrix. Like I'm just watching all of these things go by and I'm like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this means, but it's cool and it's doing the thing. So still confusing on that end. And maybe if it was something that I really was passionate about and wanted to learn more about, I would dive deeper into learning what it all means. But as far as feeling more comfortable and confident in doing it on my own again, I would 100% do it again.
Oh, awesome. Because there's another surprise for you, Jeff. We're doing it. No, I'm just kidding.
Suddenly your face is going to get all discolored and pixelated in the edit.
So that's actually great telemetry for me as we're kind of like finalizing the vibe coding course, because I hadn't really considered that perspective, like for people who like to know exactly what's happening. And Jen, you kind of tiptoed around that. You're like, I don't know what ARIA means. I don't know what like NPM means. But it is interesting that that's a need that needs to be satiated. So thank you both for that, because that'll be now design principle for the course. All right. And Paul,
So the first time I opened up a computer was when you gave me the challenge. I've never coded before, ever. So no.
I don't believe that for a second.
So I have coding background. I've coded traditionally. And
you teach?
I teach coding. And so I'm pretty well versed in all the technical aspects of coding.
Do you teach on an overhead projector with...
No.
Okay.
No.
But you might.
No.
You might
but
not.
I might start now.
Okay.
I might go analog, go back old school. So it's interesting because I knew the file you gave, and my comment to you was, do I have to use that? Because I feel it's limiting me.
Yeah, so the prompt that I made that would kind of set the stage, Paul found was too limiting.
Yes.
And I hadn't even considered that too, so that was also good telemetry for me because I thought I was helping people get started, and then I found out that was limiting you, and you were like, I can't do it in just one page.
I'm like, what do you want me to do?
I was kind of astonished with what I could make in one single HTML file. So I couldn't believe that I could make like a playable game that stored a score and came, and could track your progress all in a single HTML file. I was surprised at that.
Yeah.
Not knowing about coding.
And I can't wait to talk about your game because I did play an early iteration of it, but I haven't played through the whole thing. And Paul, I forgot if we talked about it on air or not, but we kind of agreed that you would level up and maybe do something a little bit more complicated.
Yeah. So then after the challenge was given, we did an unboxing of the Galaxy XR.
Oh yes, that's right.
And at the same time, you showed us a gem from Google Gemini that was specifically for Google or the Galaxy XR.
Yes.
So I can get into that, or we can get back to that. But that was my original go.
That was your plan?
Yeah, that was my plan, was to do something with the XR, and then I'll explain what happened. And
can you fill me in on what the Galaxy XR is?
That's true. The episode hasn't dropped yet.
That's right. So the Galaxy XR is a headset. It's augmented and virtual reality. So it's Vision Pro, but a little bit more affordable. But it's basically a headset that you would put on.
So you were trying to develop an app for that.
I was trying to develop in it. Like I was trying to keep it on and just do straight development with no computer.
And were you able to?
Do we want to answer this now?
It seemed like it wasn't quite ready for prime time.
No.
Like whenever he's trying to hit the keys would shift on his virtual keyboard.
Because it's all virtual. So like when I was doing a print on the keyboard, I'd start the print, and then all of a sudden the cursor would shift, and I'd be like, okay, I got to try that again. And then I'd say, you know what, I'm going to talk to it. So then I started talking to the prompt, but then halfway through the prompt, it detected my hand moving, and then it moved the cursor back. So I spent about 3 hours just doing nothing.
Yeah, that sounds a lot harder than using an actual keyboard. Yeah.
But then it took me to a rabbit hole, and I don't know how you want to start this, but I can go through my process whenever you want.
Yeah, so let's start. Thank you for kind of going around and saying everything. So I want to start with the first app which was just the interactive. And so Paul, you did not you skipped this one because probably because of your background and your experience. So I'm going to play the interactive, and I'm going to start recording on my screen so we can use this as a
something to cut to.
Yeah, something to cut to. Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to record the full screen. All right, and here we go. So I'm going to go to Jen. Let's see. You submitted two. You submitted the DNA lab, and you also submitted the national champions one. Which one would you like me to take a peek at right now?
Both I'm losing track of our challenges. Is the FLCC Quest one also challenge one?
Yeah, it is. I thought that one. Yeah, it was challenge one. So there's actually three. This is the game's kind of like Zork if you grew up with Zork like I did in the past.
Yeah, I like to think about it like King's Quest, but whatever you like to think about it.
And Sierra Online is back. We talked about that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want me to do the FLCC one?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So this game, when you pop it open, it says score. It has a heads up display. It says, and this is all in kind of what I would say is the old school, like video game font. It looks like it's a Windows 3.1 game, and it says Laker Quest FLCC Adventure, and my inventory is 0. And it says welcome to FLCC Canandaigua Campus. Has a nice little image of a schoolhouse, and I thought this was just an image, but you told me later these are all emoji, right?
I don't know what they are. It made it for me, so I assume it's an emoji. Right. I don't know.
And so every interaction is required to read. So this is a lot like King's Quest, like the original version of King Quest with the feel of the graphics. So it says every interaction is required to reach 300 points and earn legendary Laker status. Type look to begin your quest. So I'm going to do look, and underneath this. Yeah. I'd
just like to mention that I was excited about this and showed this off to my kids. They were not excited about it. And it turns out that they're not excited about games where you have to type look and get book and things like that. They did not think that was fun. So I think this might only appeal to people of a certain age.
The people that went to college in the 1900s, maybe?
Right.
Who actually had to play with these.
Right. Right. So they weren't impressed.
I don't know. I think retro technology sometimes kind of grabs hold. So don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
All right.
So I typed look, and underneath the text box it says, here's the commands you can use. Look, go, and then the direction. Talk, take, as in an item. Use the item, inventory. So I typed look, and it says you stand in the spacious lobby. Sunlight streams through the glass doors. To the north lies student life. To the west are the nursing labs. To the east is the woodsman field. To the south, the cafeteria.
I suggest going to the east.
Okay, I will go. So I will type go east. And now we have an image of a dragon, Laker monster, a tree, and then flick. And it says the athletic field where the woodsman team practices. West returns to the entrance. There is a blue brick here. So I'm going to say take brick. Plus 25 points. You found a blue Lego brick in the grass.
You should also talk to Flick.
Okay, so now I am going to talk. And Flick gives you a Laker-sized thumbs up. Flick shows you how properly to throw a Laker high five, plus 25 points.
Yeah.
I'm killing it.
Right, yeah.
I'm at 75 points to 300 already. All right, so I'm going to do look, and it gives me kind of the same thing. It says athletic field where the woodsman team practices. West returns to the entrance, so I'm going to go west. It says I'm back in the lobby. I can go to the west of the nursing labs. To the north lies student life, and to the east is woodsman.
So we're not going to play through live here. Why don't you go north again?
Look at this. This is fantastic. So now I see a picture of Andrea from student activities, the heart of student activity, comfy chairs surround a massive. So this is grounded in truth then, this game.
Yeah. So now you're in, the center of student life here, and Andrea's picture pops up. So these pictures are from our employee directory.
I was actually really impressed. So this is the only one that I've looked at kind of before this podcast, because you sent me a trial that first night. You're like, I'm so excited. This is so fun. And I was really impressed that this is grabbing photos, like either you or AI knew to grab the photos from the database on the website and embed them.
Yeah. So I used Gemini to do this one because I was out of Claude tokens. It was right, I think, when Claude was having an issue with its
2 weeks
token
ago
count.
Yep.
Yeah. So I kept hitting my limits, and I was using Gemini, and I had a lot of frustrations using Gemini making this. It had a lot of trouble retrieving these pictures, and I ended up having to go in and edit the code and say, this is the link. Do that for the other links, because it couldn't figure out how to pull the picture.
So you figured it out, and then you said, Gemini, here's how you do it, and Gemini was able to do it for all the other ones?
Right. And Gemini also did some weird things. It kept screwing up the point counting. Like, it could not do the addition to count to 300. It screwed it up like 4 times. And I'd say, this isn't right. The math isn't right. And it said, you are right to be suspicious. That does not add up to 300. So things like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. So in this location, if you type look, you see there's a Lego table, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you can use the brick here.
Use brick. 50 points. You snap the brick into place. Andrea gives you a high five, which I had already learned from Flick.
Yeah.
How to do the Laker high
Right.
five.
All right. So now go north one last time, and then we'll stop there. You don't have to play through the whole game.
So can I ask, when you did this, how does it know the directions? Did you supply the directions?
Oh, no, the directions are just made up. They don't correlate to our actual campus.
okay.
No.
But do you feel like you could make this into, say, an online orientation module?
I mean, you could.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I didn't spend a lot of time correcting things that were messed up on here. Like, for instance, when you take the blue brick and then you look again, the blue brick is still on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't go
So
back
the
and mess
debugging.
with it. Yeah.
And just so everyone who's following along at home, if you go north, we are in the podcast studio equipped with top tier gear. The podcast team is ready to record. So this is a fun game. And I was really impressed. How long did this take you?
Longer than I would like. This one took multiple hours.
But that's because you're using Gemini and you were running into issues with it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you with this. So I see there's an image in the podcast studio. There's an image of myself, Dave, and Jeff. How did it know to get that? Or did you say, get these images from the website and then it added it?
Yeah, I told it, I gave it links to your pages on the website.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But then even there, it struggled then to pull your picture off the website.
So,
yeah.
so while we're talking about it, as you, I know you've used Claude for other things. So right now, at this, as I'm asking you right now, would you rather have done this with Claude?
Oh, absolutely. And
Okay.
for some of them, once I was having less Claude token issues, sometimes I would put the exact same prompt into both Claude and Gemini. For the DNA game, I did that. And it's not that Gemini didn't turn out something that worked. It just turned out something so simple and so boring and so plain. And Claude turned out something that had multiple different options and gameplay and was fun.
The texture of it is just
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gemini just gave me something that was like a multiple choice
A technical,
quiz. Yeah.
I mentioned that in a previous podcast too, is that I felt like if I say create a neon button, ChatGPT will create just the most mechanical, boring button. But then I do the same thing in Claude, exact same prompt, and it'll give me a nice elegant gradient with a glow. Right. And I'm like, okay, this is what I was wanting. Yeah. And technically it was right. They were both right, but one is just aesthetically more pleasing.
And I wonder how much you could have gotten out of it if you had given it a super long prompt. Not that you have to, because Claude will Claude understands the intent, I think.
Yeah. Which is kind of creepy, isn't it?
Yeah,
it really gets
what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Without me having to put a lot of information in, which is crazy.
That's awesome.
I mean, awesome.
This is
and
awesome.
Also scary.
Yeah. I like
this is
this.
really cool.
Yeah. And
well done.
I do like the promise, because now that you know this is possible, especially if you're using Claude and it went a little bit faster, but the second time around it'll go faster, you could make this into a really cool interactive for your learners.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that. All right, next up, Jeff Kidd, are you ready? So do you want to give us a preface on what your app is called, the Editing Decision Trainer?
Yeah. So because I didn't know where to start or what to do, I was actually really excited to use different AI tools, because I've had ChatGPT for a while, and I was just going to try Claude, to be honest. I was like, I'm excited to try Claude, but let me just use ChatGPT and see what happens.
Okay. And
I gave it this prompt. The prompt was, I'm in a group of 3 people in a vibe coding challenge. I've never coded in my life.
That's actually the best way you could have started off that prompt, to be honest.
Just get it out, just rip the Band-Aid off. Knowing my interests based on the prompts I've given you so far, what do you think I should do? Here's a link to the site. And I won't get into the weeds of it, but it's like, wow, this is great. You're perfect for this. Yada, yada, yada. All that.
You are
it's
perfect.
It's nice that it patted you on the back, right? And encouraged you.
It's always positive. So I take that. So, gives me all these ideas. And let me keep going. Prompt. Okay, so and I was like, okay, I like where you're going with this. It gives me some ideas, and it came up with this editing challenge. So this multiple choice, here's an editing scene. what would be the correct choice to cut to next, or like how the sequence is edited. Because I've prompted it about editing, because I teach the digital editing class here. And it was like, okay, here's a prompt that I would give myself, meaning ChatGPT generated a prompt that I would, if I wanted to, for it to be prompted to generate the app from. And I was like, okay, cool.
So it gave you the prompt.
It gave me the prompt.
Wow, you didn't even have to ask for the prompt. It was just like, listen, buddy, you got a long road to hoe.
No, and again, this is like less than 5 minutes. I'll read a little bit of the prompt. Create a single HTML file, including HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in one file. Requirements: no external frameworks, vanilla JavaScript only, fully responsive and visually clean. Everything runs in the browser, no server, and I won't get into all the rest.
Okay.
So it does all that.
That was kind of the stuff that was in what John was talking about earlier, kind of the specifications.
Yeah, I won't get into that here. But again, still a lot of stuff that I don't understand. And I literally was like, what did I say? My prompt was really funny. And I literally just copied and pasted it and said, do that. And it said, okay, done. And it probably took, and I have my MacBook Pro. It was on my lap. It probably took a solid 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Maybe it felt longer than that, just because I wasn't like, I'm not used to doing something this complicated, so it usually takes a couple seconds. But it was really cranking it out. My laptops, they get hot when they're on your lap. So it was really cooking.
Nice.
And it spit out almost exactly what you have.
Okay, so let me explain what I have. It looks like I like the color scheme. I like the aesthetics. Got like rounded corners. Got little pills, which are kind of like the rectangles with rounded corners.
Can I ask you? So you did this in Claude, right?
No, I did this in ChatGPT.
In ChatGPT? Okay.
And this is this is a quiz, and it gives you a scenario. The first one is called A Difficult Confession, and it says two friends sit in a park. So this is like a scene, right? That's someone's family. Yep. Two friends sit in a park car at night. One quietly admits they have been hiding a major secret. The line lands softly, and the other character takes a beat before reacting. And then there's three choices, and I have to choose what action to take as the editor, like cut to a close-up, or stay on a wide shot, or cut rapidly. Right? Mm-hmm. And so we are assessing emotional dialogue here. So I'm going to go cut to a close-up, and I got it right. Maybe I missed my calling.
This is really cool, Jeff.
This is really cool. And it tells you, it kind of like verifies and says, like, here's a pro tip, here's more. So so I will go through the rest of them because there's only 6 questions. But as I'm doing that, and I'm not going to necessarily read them all out loud, but it is being captured on video. But as I'm doing this, what do you mean by this was almost the first version?
Okay. There's one element at the very, very end that when you get to it, I will go into detail as to why that was not included in the original. Everything else except that was based off of that ChatGPT generated prompt for ChatGPT.
All right, so you're saying it's right at the end, like after the last question?
When you answer the last question.
All right, I'm about to do it.
Oh, I got 1 right and 2 right, 3. I'm going to read 4 while we're doing this. The next scene begins before the picture changes. A character finishes an argument in the kitchen. Before we cut away, we began hearing applause from the school auditorium where the next scene will take place. Use a J cut so the auditorium applause starts before the visual transition. I like that. Mute the kitchen scene completely 1 frame before the cut so it feels abrupt, or keep the kitchen in the audio. I'm going to go with the J cut. Oh, I shouldn't be a podcast.
I didn't know what a J cut was, so I got that question wrong.
I should have been a film editor. Apparently, that's what that's what your app is telling me. Oh, okay. Well, I got number 5 wrong. Okay, so I'm in number 6 then. Is this the one that you want to talk about?
So answer it.
Okay, it says a reflective ending. After a long day, a student editor exports the final cut, leans back, and watches the progress bar finish. The scene is meant to feel satisfying and calm rather than rushed. Let the final shots breathe with slightly longer holds on minimal. I don't know what any of this means. Use the fast jump cuts every second to make the ending feel more energetic. Insert unrelated B-roll just to avoid staying on any one image. All right, I got this one wrong too. Turns out I suck. I only got 50%. All right, so now I can see the final results.
Did you have your volume up?
No.
Oh. No, well, now he's going to do it. He's going to do it now.
All right, now see final results.
Did you hear anything?
I don't know.
It's immediately after that last one is.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
I don't know.
Oh,
I didn't have my volume.
I didn't have my volume. We're in a recording studio.
Here, I'll go through it, see if I can.
Just get to the end. It doesn't matter what the answers are.
Yeah. I'm just so it needs to be sound is off, so I need to make
All
sure.
right, I'm on question 6. I got it. You ready? I'm gonna. I didn't hear about. Oh, my tab might be muted. Okay, go for it, Paul.
Well, all right.
Mine says MP3 failed.
Oh, it's because we don't have the MP3 file.
I have to.
Yeah, it has to come with the file.
Yeah. Okay.
That's interesting. Oh, that's so
because
interesting.
you have the file, so it worked on your computer.
Because it's referencing the audio.
So these are the things that you guys understand that Jeff and I don't.
Yeah, and these are the things that we go over in the vibe coding class. This is not like a promotion for the vibe coding class, but like yeah, you're right. There'd be no reason why you'd be like, oh, I need to it works at my computer. Why I want to work everywhere? So the vibe coding class is actually like a web technologies class to help you understand that stuff. So, but I will say this about this app: I've been in online teaching for a long time. This as a quiz mechanism is absolutely fantastic. A, it looks really nice.
Yeah, it does.
B, it gives you the feedback if you got it right or wrong, which is awesome. But then it also has like your progress, and it has a nice little like coach's note, and it has like a sound on, sound off button. Like this, the look and feel of this, Jeff, is absolutely fantastic.
So I felt really guilty. Honestly, because I liked it. I was like, I feel like I need to put some more attention to the details, like change the interface somehow. But I'm happy with it. I was like,
So Dave's challenge said we had to iterate, but Jeff was like, nah. It's pretty good.
This is kind of the story of my life. It's like I'm pretty chill. Like I kind of don't sometimes have an opinion about stuff just because I'm like, well, it's fine. I'm fine with this.
So one of the things I'm seeing though is if I use tools, some of these tools again and again, everything starts to look alike. So I can see that after I do this a couple times, I'm going to want to specify some changes in the design because I get sick of it and everything looks the same. And we were talking about this just before the podcast. You can look at other people's stuff and tell which tool they use.
The more you use AI, the more attuned you become.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jeff, you know what I really love about it is these scenarios that the AI came up with, right? I mean, these weren't your scenarios, were they?
No.
I mean, and these are accurate. Like
these are good scenarios.
Like these are good scenarios, and the options are good. And it's like, we talk about all this stuff in editing classes. We talk about how if you want a fast pace and fast action, if you want to slow things down, there's different things you can do as an editor. And this was great. That was great scenarios.
And, I took the quiz, so I didn't know what the questions were. I didn't know anything, and I got them all right. And I was like, oh, I guess I can. One thing, I know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm talking about. But I was like, that's crazy that. But I thought about it. I was like, okay, I would do this, and it would happen to be the right answer. But yeah, like it really blew my mind how it just kind of checked all the boxes for me, without me having to make a lot of changes, which is why I was sort of blown away and kind of sat there. And I was like, I feel bad that it just worked for me.
Why?
Just because I was like, I don't know, like, am I doing this wrong? Not wrong, but I was just like, Paul's probably going to do something that's really crazy and complicated and cool. And Jen's got more experience. She's going to do something really that's more complicated and cool. This, I just gave it took me 10 minutes.
I know, but
that's awesome though.
Yeah. And one thing that I really appreciate in your kind of reflection on that is that you did go through the quiz and you didn't say this, but you verified I did verify the veracity of it and to make sure that all the questions were accurate. Knowing very little about like film editing, as I look at this, I'm like, this seems right. Like, but you verified it and you said this is right.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, the one thing I really like about this is you've kind of created a platform. Like I said, the look is really nice. It has like the questions in one pane, and then your progress in another pane, and the coach's note. This could be, if you want to make a whole curriculum, you could just swap out the questions every time.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed by this. So pat yourself on the back.
I appreciate that. So let me tell you what the thing was. So, okay, I'm super disappointed that the sound isn't there. Can you guys guess what the sound was?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's why I'm so bummed out. But so how should I tell you how I try to get it in there, or how can you tell me how I should have put it in there?
Well, tell us what you prompted and what you did. And then
so it came up with a sound. It was like a bing. It was like a little thing. And I was like, well, I know what I need to do to make it, funny for us, like a little inside kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, can you put that sound in there? And it was like, I'll try to make one. And it didn't sound anything like that sound. And I was like, okay, can I give you a sound and you put it in? And it's like, actually, I can't do that. Here's the procedure. Here's the steps of, here, take the code, but it really wanted me to code. It legitimately wanted me to code. And I'm like,
we don't want that.
And I was like, did you not read? Did you forget what I prompted you 5 minutes ago? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do that. I don't want to do that. You do it. And it's like, okay, no, I can't do that. And I'm like, okay, so what do I have to do it? And it gave me this step-by-step, here's what you're supposed to do. So it send me a link to another site that's supposed to have taken that sound. Now, mind you, it's a 2-second sound effect, not even maybe 3 seconds. And I fed it into this site, and it broke it down into what I thought was code. And it's like, take that code, put it here, put these little lines of code in, and then paste it here. I'm like, okay, fine. I do that. It breaks. It doesn't understand. It doesn't know what it's doing. And it's like, you did something wrong. I'm like, okay, you're supposed to tell me what I did. What did I do wrong? I couldn't do it. It wouldn't do it. We just kind of kept going around and around and around. So I took a break. I left. I was like, okay, I'll come back. And I was like, is there another program that could do this for me? And it was like, yes, there is. And it had me download a program called Visual Studio Code.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's the program.
Okay, and I was like, here, and I pasted the whole thing in there, and I'm like, I need to add this sound effect. Can you do it? And it was like, yes, just do these little things, and I pasted the same thing in there, this long code of this 2 or 3 seconds. It still wouldn't do it right. And it's like, I know what you need to do, and now I can't remember what it was exactly, but it did work.
Yes, and I'm looking at the code right now, and I do not want to spoil what the sound effect is, but you can tell if you're looking at the code. So for those of you who are watching this on YouTube, you will get to see what this sound effect is. And you've kind of exposed one of the first lessons in web design is if you have multiple files like images or audio, it needs to be with the HTML file. And so right now it's not, but it's an easy fix. But you went through it. And even though you said you didn't iterate that much, you get bonus points for doing, like downloading Visual Studio Code and going through the pain and suffering of doing what you did.
Hours. I mean, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be so worth it. I'm going to get it on camera. It's going to be so funny. So, okay. Okay, so how do I get it? Okay, I have to know. How do I get it in there?
You just give us the file. It just needs to live next to it.
Yeah.
You guys have to have the file.
Yeah, it has to live right next to the HTML.
Now, if you had stored it on a website, you could store both those files on the website, and then the user wouldn't need to like download it and install Visual Studio Code.
Yeah, like when Dave uploads it, he'll upload your HTML and the audio, and then it'll just reference it.
Yeah.
So it has to be like, oh, I have to find a site to host it then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Dave will host it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so if I did want to do it right, I have to find a website to host it.
And yeah, the easiest way I think to do it is to use GitHub, and we'll go over this in the class that happens in the fall, the vibe coding class. But
wait, Dave, there's a vibe
there
coding
is a
class?
vibe coding course happening at
Is it for non-majors?
Wow. It's one of 55 programs, and it's part of the new micro-credential too. But and there's a few different easy ways to do this. You can actually run it from Google Drive. You can store that MP3 file on Google Drive and then embed it that way. So
and link it that way. Yeah.
Okay. So here's my question. Here's the last question I'll ask. Why didn't it tell me that?
Because you were using ChatGPT and not Claude.
That's fair.
Snap.
Yeah.
That's totally fair.
Here's the other thing that I find sometimes you might have not. It says it will say name your MP3 this and make sure it's next to or in this folder, and you might have skimmed through it just saying I want it. I don't want, and I just want a single file. And in your head, you're thinking it's gonna be code that it's going to generate. It's not going to be a secondary file, right?
Exactly. In my mind, I'm thinking it's going to break down this MP3 into ones and zeros or whatever, and somehow it's going to stick it in there.
And you can do that with images, and I think you can actually do it with audio too.
I mean,
you can do it with tones. You can't do it with
but because I think that's a big, and I mean, you know this, when you're editing, you always have those, when you bring in a video file, you always need reference to those files. It's the exact same thing with this. So,
which makes sense. It totally makes sense. But, you know, it would have been nice to have been, again, and I'm not playing stupid. I was being stupid. I don't know what I'm supposed to do to get this in there. How do I get this in there? Maybe I didn't give it a good prompt to understand what my question was, or like, I just want this to be part of it.
So, you know, it's interesting, Dave, because this is kind of where I was talking about, and this is no reflection on Jeff. This is exactly what, in my head, this is an issue that can be resolved in under like 5 seconds. No, I'm just saying.
It's just like, I knew it was something simple.
With somebody that has just a basic foundation of linking references and HTML. Right. And then it took Jeff hours. And I think to myself, could you imagine a workforce when all of the foundational knowledge is gone and everyone's just like doing this coding and they're troubleshooting for 24 hours and all it was
the file
name.
And that also makes me think that AI, so there certainly is like de-skilling that happens with AI, but this is, we're skipping that. We're just skipping steps here. But what you've demonstrated to me, Jeff, and I'll be certainly very keenly aware of this when we do the vibe coding course, is that like there are some struggles where you do need 3 to 4 hours to troubleshoot because they're legitimately hard. Yes. And then there are other times where maybe you don't, but you might not ever know what the difference is, like when you need to spend 3 or 4 hours, or when you need to say like, oh, I just need to like hit the help button or whatever. And so this has really exposed that to me, that needs to be design principle 2 for the course is, you know, you need to know when to ask for help. And I'm not saying like, again, like I'm glad you struggled so much on this because that's really admirable. But like there are other things that might be 5-minute problems that we certainly don't want people spending hours and hours doing.
Yeah. And this is an easy fix. It's literally just attaching the... And
that kind of proves my point a little bit. Yeah. It's like you still need to have some knowledge to solve these, like, you know, basic problems. And that makes me feel better that it really was something simple and I was missing something, because I think one should know some fundamentals.
Yeah, and this also kind of exposes the like AI should have been able to fix this problem for you in
it didn't
5 seconds. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing that. And
this is awesome, Jeff.
Yeah, I want everyone to go look at this editing decision trainer. Just look at the interface; it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I mean, the content's actually pretty rich. Paul.
Yes. We'll do the scary one first.
Oh my gosh, this is terrifying.
Yeah, I don't even understand it.
Okay.
All right. So
in the 1900s.
There was this. All right. So the way it started out is we unboxed the Galaxy XR, and at the same time, Dave sent Jeff and I a new gem that Google just released for XR development. So on a web browser.
And XR is
extended reality. So it's a mix of both digital and real world. So when you put a headset on, you like overlay things and you can interact with those things. So my thought was, you know what would be cool is if I could try to do a full straight out coding inside of the Galaxy XR using this. So I put it on. I tried to do the code, the coding, and it just completely was a debacle of me trying to code it. So I got so frustrated that I said, you know what, I'm going to get the Vision Pro, and I put the Vision Pro on, and I said, I'm gonna program this with the Vision Pro. So I started.
That's
programming.
a big one. It's a $3,500.
Yeah, so
Apple
that's
headset.
the Apple headset. So then, and again, the goal was to program in the headset.
Where do you get these wonderful toys? You have so many, like
the wonderful FLCC. So I put the Vision Pro on, and I start trying to do the same thing, and night and day difference to the accuracy of the interaction. And after being in like 2 hours of trying to code with the Galaxy XR, the resolution of this pass through isn't as crisp as the Vision Pro. So my eyes started getting kind of tired from looking through that. But then I put the Vision Pro on. It was sharp. I was like, I'm doing this. And then the wall hits again. Vision Pro doesn't support, Safari doesn't support WebXR. So I just did this. I tried to get it to work, and Vision Pro doesn't support it. So then I just start doing the research on, okay, how do I open this up? And then it said that you can do it. You have to do certain settings in the Safari to turn it into developer mode and allow So I did that, and it was not. It was just still blocked. It still blocked it. So then I was like, well, I guess I could develop in the Vision Pro, and I was like, no, never mind. So from the Vision Pro, what I was planning on doing is the reason why I wanted to do that is because I thought in my head, you know what would be cool is to do occlusion. So that's where you can like map things onto the wall, and then like things are in front of it, and like it looks like it's really in your world. And so I was like, okay, I need a headset that can detect LiDAR or it's 3D space. So the original logic was, and
this is like if you give a mouse a cookie, you know that?
And just so you know, I was using his freaking prompt, which I loved, but it kept restricting me when I was in the headset because it needed more than just one file because it needed other APIs to do all this stuff. And so that's when I was like, Dave, can I use? And he said, you can do whatever you want. And I was like, okay. So,
which was another good design lesson for me for the course. But keep going.
Yeah. So at that point, the logic was this. Okay, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to put the headset on. I wanted you to look around, and then all of a sudden, I wanted you to see a crack on the wall. And then as you walked to the crack, you would notice zeros and ones running. And then if you touched the crack would get bigger, and your whole room would be zeros and ones, and it would overlay on the doors, and it would delete.
That would have been so cool.
On the
I'm pretty sure that happened in an episode of Community in their Imaginarium.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that, but see?
Fantastic TV series.
It is. It is. So I started doing that, but I ran into the WebXR. Vision Pro was not having it. So I was like, all right. So I went back on the computer. I gave up on programming on the headsets themselves. So then I went down this other rabbit hole where I was trying to still use all the technologies that were browser based, and it's limiting when you want to do this level of immersion.
Yeah.
So I spent hours doing it, and it was a freaking, and it is what it is, but it looked horrible. The crack was like floating. It wasn't locked. It
wasn't anchored to.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, well, how do we anchor the crack so it doesn't move when I move my phone? Because now I was moving to the phone when I moved my phone around, and it was like, oh, you need this, and I was like, all right, let's do it. So then I installed all of those, and then I was like, cool, I got the crack, but then I started trying to do the mapping of all the surfaces, and it says, oh, you can't do that. You need the LiDAR from a specific, and I was like, oh my gosh. So
you were having, no joke, this is the same problem Jeff had with the audio.
Yeah.
Same exact problem, except like in a different dimension.
Yeah. And so then I was like, all right, you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I just saw an announcement that Xcode, which is the Apple developing environment for the Vision Pro and the iPhone, is now enabling AI. So then I said, okay, cool. I opened up Xcode. I tried to type
Which is free software.
It is free software.
For the low price of 1.5 terabytes.
I was like, there's no AI. They said that there should be AI here. So then I do research. It needs the newest version of Xcode.
Oh my gosh.
So I tried to download the latest version of Xcode. Oh, nope. You need the latest operating system to get the latest Xcode. So I literally reinstalled the latest operating system, and then I did it. Still didn't work. I needed to download the beta version or the developer version
of your OS
of the operating system. So then I downloaded that.
I think you're missing the spirit of vibe coding. I'm just gonna say, I think you lost it somewhere along the way.
I did.
All right. So, so where did you end up?
So what I ended up was, you know what? I'm just going to turn it around and I'm just going to do it. So the zeros and ones will just be mapped to your face, and you can just look around. And originally what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a red and blue pill where you'd pick one pill, and I was going to put a mask on you that was like Neo, and then another mask that was Agent Smith. And these are the Matrix characters. But then I found out that all the zeros and ones were literally coded. So it's a coded shader that's happening. So it wasn't a true texture, which is awesome.
I don't know the difference between a shader and a texture, but it sounds like it's 3-dimensional.
Yes.
Okay.
So so then I was like, you know what? Just to elevate this a little bit, I went to 11 Labs and I took the quote from
11 Labs is the AI voice.
AI voice, yeah. And I took the quote from the Matrix blue red pill. And then I said, but they didn't have a voice that was deep. So they allow you just with prompt. I said a deep, bassy voice talking slow. And it created a voice for me. And that's the voice you hear when you click start on this.
All right, I'm going to hit start.
You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
This is terrifying. So what I am seeing right now is the webcam is just broadcasting me, but my face is these green numbers. And actually, if I bring it real close to me, the numbers get bigger, and they're kind of morphing and flowing down the contours of my face. It kind of looks
What
alien-ish.
I'd like to know is why it puts in nostrils that are not lined up with your own nostrils. That's what I'd like to understand.
Is it not lined up?
They were
they're
not.
slightly off.
They're slightly not, but the nostril. That's not the scary. That's not the scariest part of this whole thing. So I encourage everyone who's listening at home to like try this. Don't do it at nighttime when you're home alone, because it's really. This looks like something out of Unsolved Mysteries from speaking the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah. So
Well, it definitely used the webcam. So
Yeah.
that was level 3 challenge.
It is cool because it is using the webcam and it's doing like face tracking, which is really, really sweet. So it sounds like you also went on a roundabout journey to get here.
Yeah.
But these are all lessons that you learn, and there's some
Yes.
good stuff there.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then there's 2 other quick ones I want to go over. I know we're running short on time, but I want to talk about, Jen, you also made, and you mentioned this, the NJCAA championship website for the volleyball team.
Yeah, so this is frustrating to me because it made such a great thing. I got it to pull the stats and the photos from the, it wasn't from the athletics site, it was from the official tournament website, right? Mm-hmm. And I had to pull this stuff to feature my student, right? So I could show this off to his classmates. And it has this awesome confetti animation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I copied this HTML and put it in Brightspace, our learning management system. I cut and paste the HTML in there, and the dang thing wouldn't work. It would just scroll forever and ever and ever and ever. And so then it also wouldn't load any content. So I was a little frustrated with it, but I asked Claude why. I said, it's not working. Here's what's happening. And it said, there was a technical reason the confetti animation wasn't going to work well in there. And then, I don't know, there was something about the page size was automatically resizing in Brightspace or something. And I needed to, it needed to change the code. So it debugged it for me, but it took away the confetti animation. This one displays nice on mobile too.
Yeah, it looks great on mobile.
Yeah. In different sizes.
Yeah, so that's part of that mystery prompt had the word responsive in there, so it makes it look good. But this is really, really sharp. I hope people take a look at this too. One thing that's worth noting, that the image that you have in here is not hosted on your own website. It's actually taken from, I think, like the NJCAA website. And so you're actually embedding it. You're not downloading it, which makes it legal to use.
Well, there was a whole lot of back and forth Claude and I had that I didn't understand about a hot linking protection that it had. But it went back and forth and figured out how to make it work. But I did not understand what it was trying to tell me.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
So you pointed this to the site and you said specific player,
Yes.
create a congratulation, and it did this from there.
Yes.
That is awesome.
And was this just like 1 or 2 prompts to generate it? I know.
Yeah,
that.
it wasn't a lot of prompt because this was just meant to be something quick to share out to the students.
This is so cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
And that issue that you ran into is a common issue that some web browsers support some animation things and other browsers don't.
And Brightspace specifically they call it sanitizing. They will sanitize the JavaScript in some places. So that's why in the vibe coding class that's being offered in the fall here at Finger Lakes Community College, which is part of the micro-credential and AI integration specialist, that we teach people, like, you create the code, which you've done, then you store the code somewhere else, like GitHub or Blogger or WordPress, and then you embed it. And then
I see, instead of actually putting the HTML
Correct.
right in. Interesting. Yeah.
But this is fantastic. And there are 2 other apps that you submitted. One is this Ink and Line where you can upload an image.
Okay, so this, I will just tell you, my life got a little busy in the last week.
Sure, end of the
so
semester.
yeah, and my kid graduated from college.
That's
I had
right.
to go to Pittsburgh for her graduation. It was amazing. But my plan was to walk in here with temporary tattoos for you guys with your face on them. And I have the app working to make the tattoo images, and I have the tattoo paper, but it's at home and it's not here,
We'll
and I
just have
didn't
to
have a
invite you back
chance
again.
to print it.
So this
yeah.
app.
Hello, YouTube viewers. Sorry to interrupt, but Editor Jeff here. The day that we shot this, we ran into a technical issue. And you would think the gentleman that hosts this podcast would have recognized said technical issue, given the accolades, degrees, experience in AI, video production, common sense. But, alas, they didn't notice when the large video monitors that sit on top of each camera indicated there was no signal. They didn't seem to think that that was worth noting. So by the time we were finished, they said, "Hey Jeff, not sure if it's a big deal or not, but the monitors are showing no signal." Which I said, "How long have they been that way?" They said, "Oh, a while." A while was 15 minutes. So we lost about 15 minutes of footage because the camera batteries died. And they didn't think to pause at some point, so I could throw fresh batteries in, and we could keep going. So we don't have the remaining 15 minutes of footage for this episode. To rectify the situation, the other engineer, Hugh, and myself, using the Adobe Character Animator software, came up with a solution to finish the episode. Sorry for the abrupt interruption, but please enjoy the rest of the episode.
That you're
So
talking about.
I thought merch for you guys,
Yeah.
right? That I'd show up with
we're
merch.
we're
like
setting up a
good
merch page.
Podcast guest.
Oh, look at this. You can take a photo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this app is called Ink and Line. And you can upload a photo, or you can take a photo with your webcam, and then it will create it into kind of like a temporary tattoo type thing that you can then print out. You got the full stack here. This is really impressive.
This is really awesome.
So this one I did this morning while I was brushing
You
my
made
teeth.
this
Yes.
morning?
So
Are you kidding me?
that's why I don't like all the options on there, but I did ask it to add an erase feature, and so you can brush, erase.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also got a crop feature, and it's got an undo to when you mess up your erasing, you can go back.
So without knowing your process, did you get like the first iteration and like, oh, it'd be nice if we could erase, and then it did erase,
all
and you're
right.
like,
So
oh,
I said I made this morning. I started making this 2 weeks ago and got frustrated and put it away. And then today I opened it up and said, I'm not going to use what I used before. I'm just going to tell it what I want. And so I learned what I wanted from that failure before, right? And so then I just started a fresh prompt and said, this is what I want. And it was able to do that instead of continuing to iterate a bad product.
And this was Claude?
Yes, this was Claude.
And sometimes that's the best thing to do is just be like, okay, I learned a lot of lessons. I know what I want and what I don't want, and then just start over.
Yeah, and so some of the features it has that I asked for today are things that Claude came up with on its own 2 weeks ago when I got frustrated and it wasn't working out. Because I hadn't thought about, I'd like an erase feature. It gave me that feature, you know? And I was like, that's smart, but I need an undo. And, this
is great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I encourage everyone who's listening to go check this out. Again, you can go to the immersivelens.com.
Yeah, and what I sent you, Dave, and I don't know, you've got, I don't know if you're still screen recording, but I sent you like a picture of me and my dog and my daughter, and then also the tattoo image I generated, and then how I cropped it and erased the background. And so you can kind of see how you can do a little bit of...
That is great.
It's pretty neat,
that's
right?
Awesome.
Man.
That's really cool.
And so you even asked it to export it to different formats, to PNG, JPEG, or PDF.
And I did specify what formats I wanted. What if I had time, right? Yeah. What I wanted was to then have like a tiling option to have it arrange the tattoos on the sheet to print. So that when it printed, it would be efficient. Yeah. But I didn't have time to do any of that. I didn't even get it to print.
But I mean, the point of this exercise was to be like, unlock the possibilities. And now you know. That's fantastic. I love it.
This is really cool. Yeah. This is to import an image, to modify the image, and then to save it as a format that is really cool idea. So what made you think of this? Like, this is like...
I would like more tattoos in my life than what I have, and I've been trying to get AI tools to design the tattoos for me. And I actually complained to you about this the other day, Paul, because I'm fighting with AI about material that it thinks is copyrighted, but it's not because it's passed into common domain. But Claude... not Claude, it's Gem. I was trying to use Nano Banana, and it will not use the original illustrations from Pooh. Winnie the Pooh, even though they're common domain now, or public domain. They've passed out a copyright, but it won't do it. It says this would violate.
So you're going to write your own app to work around that?
No, I was going to actually maybe, try some old school, pen and pencil. Cool. But so the reason I wanted to make a tattoo with this is because I don't want to lose the real world connection. So I like the idea of using AI to help me create something tangible.
Yeah, that's really neat.
That's cool.
This is awesome. This is great.
I love it.
I ran into the same issue with Google. I for the next project I did, I wrote the word messy. I wanted, like, it said name your character, and I said messy, and it said, we can't use the name messy. I'm like, Messi is trademarked or copyrighted?
Did you spell it like
MESSI?
Like the soccer player?
Yeah. So you could have named it with a Y maybe, but no.
Yeah.
So,
but that's just a name.
Mean, how fantastic though that they're actually building in protections, right? Because we criticize things like Grok allowing you to take pictures of real people and make them pornographic, right?
That's true.
And they took a long time to fix that. So now that they're doing that, I like that.
Yeah, but this wasn't even a request to make an image. It was just to name a character.
Yeah.
Like the character like on my screen.
Yeah, I wanted to call it you were going to make him something devious and then slander a soccer player.
Yeah, I wonder if instead of a challenge soccer game, if you had made, say, like volleyball or horseshoes, you could have named.
I bet you
Messi.
You're right.
So, you think so?
I bet you're right.
You think it was that?
Maybe. I don't know.
Contextual? I don't know.
I think AI excels at context.
Well, that's true.
So this last one Paul made, this is really cool. This is above and beyond the call of the challenge because it's a 2-player game from 2 different locations. So you can create the game, and this is just a soccer game, and when you say play, it gives you like a 4-digit code. And so your friend can go to the website and type in the 4-digit code like Paul's doing right now. And I am a kicker, and and I'm standing in front of a soccer net and I can see a goalie in the soccer net. So I can pick, like, do I want to go left high, left mid, left low, center mid? I get to pick which direction I'm going to kick in. And the graphics here are kind of cool. They're actually really cool graphics.
Well, I'll explain what I wanted to do, but
and then I can say, like, I can do the power, whatever I'm going to do. And then I lock my choice. And then I wait for Paul to figure out where he's going to go. Oh, and he saved the goal. So this is kind of like a rocks, paper, scissors, right?
yes. And then now your view will change once you do next round.
Oh, next round. So now, oh no.
Now you're the
Now
goalie.
I'm the goalie and I'm scrambling. And so Paul and Jen are they're figuring out where they're going to kick the ball. And I have to decide, oh no, this is so terrifying. Goal. Oh, I lost. That's fun. This is a fun game.
That is a fun game. That's really cool.
This is actually like server side. So this level of technology is whole another level. But so quickly summarize kind of your thoughts on this, and then we'll wrap up.
So I got very frustrated with the Matrix Mask, and I knew that this was due today. So I was like, you know what? Let me just create a simple 2-player game. Originally what I wanted to do, the reason why there's no faces on here is because you're supposed to take a picture of your face, and your face was going to be mapped onto there, and then your face would be mapped onto the other player. And then, but while I was going through this, it didn't happen. I really enjoyed this. This was a better experience. Obviously, I was able to do it in one night, but I ran into issues of this. I'm very picky. This is horrible animation, and I was trying to get. I like
the animation. I thought it was kind of fun.
I was trying to get the AI systems to do sprite sheets. So sprite sheets are just a big image of animation sequences. And the problem is that when you're doing these, they all have to be in a uniformed block. So 160 by 160, and it should be one pose, 160 by 160, and it should be the next pose, and so on. None of the platforms could figure out how to do a perfect measurement of 160 by 160 cell.
Interesting.
They were all off. So every time I do it, it'd be like half of a body or half of a because it's like.
So for this game, this was not a single HTML file, was it? Or it was?
No, it was
This
not.
did not follow.
No.
I was going to say, if you can do that.
No.
If you want to have like two different players on two different computers, it needs to have some back-end technology.
Yeah. So
which we cover in the vibe coding course, which is being offered in the fall here at FLCC.
Like a broken record.
Yeah. So I have fun with it. I did another 11 Labs audio. So it did Hispanic, exciting music for soccer. And then I said, generate a cheer, generate a fail. And so I had that running, and then it was just an iterative process after that. But my biggest complaint was the sprite sheets, and I tried to create a gem in Gemini that said,
interesting approach.
Let's do this. Still didn't work. So then I created an Opal
oh my
agent.
Gosh. You went through all the tools.
Yeah, I went to, and I said, create a document, and let's say it's 1,000 width pixel document, divide it into 10, so it'd be 100 each or whatever, and then place in the center of each column the character.
Yeah.
And then it created an HTML page, but the images weren't centered.
So isn't that so interesting? So I had trouble with Gemini doing math up to 300, right?
Yeah.
And you're having trouble with it making something 160 by 160.
Yeah.
It can do such incredibly complex things. Why is it failing on these simple mathematical things? It's because it's language based?
A few things. Yeah. The in LLM does not stand for math. But so you read articles and you're like, oh, they are solving like the world's toughest math problems at like the math Olympiads and stuff without a problem. This is an oversimplification, but the issue is the models we're using are trained on anything that's written. So 2 + 2 is written everywhere. If you ask an LLM what's 2 + 2, it will know it's 4. But if you ask it complicated things, remember, it's just a prediction engine. So it will make stuff up or behave wonky. some models are better than others with math, and they're getting a lot better, especially when you're like contextualizing, say, if you're programming, sometimes you get a little bit better stuff, better results.
Well, I feel like so what I'm seeing is that these frontier model companies, they're creating, I guess, bespoke sort of engines models that are trained on specific data sets. So like, I'm really interested in that, the science one, the Rosalind one, that's supposed to accelerate biopharmaceutical research, right?
Sure.
And it's going to be trained on protein structures and things like that as a data set in a more intentional way. So I'm sure strictly mathematical ones. I think, right, you could make one on anything. You just have to figure out what the training data is and what's worth their time and investment right now, since they've got limited resources.
Yeah. Well, this was an awesome challenge.
Yeah. Well, thanks for accepting the challenge.
Yeah, this was cool. That was cool to see what everyone was producing, and it's like a wide variety of apps. And I think that was the other thing is, I don't know, when you gave the challenge, I was like, what do I do? Like, it was a weird, like, and I did the same thing.
Did you start the way Jeff did and ask? I did too.
Yeah. I did the same thing. I said, give me 5 ideas for what I could do for, XR game or whatever. And, but it was really cool to see, the variety. Last thoughts for you, Jeff?
I have not prepared one, but I can send you some. But this is just a reminder that the challenge does exist at the website, theimmersivelens.com, and all these apps, by the time you hear this, will be up on the episode page. So this is episode 21, I believe, right?
Yes, it is. And and any last thoughts from you, Jen, before we end?
I think there's like no limit to what you can create here.
And really, it's just overcoming the apprehension of even starting. But like, it's not hard. Ask it to do something simple. Make like a timer or a to-do app, if you just want to get a quick win. And
I'll just say this, learn from failure. I think you brought up a great point, and I had to experience it several times, is you go through this rabbit hole and you're like, oh, it's not going good. And then you can say, you know what? Hey, ChatGPT or Claude, can you give me a prompt that would refine this so it's a cleaner overall approach? And then maybe you start from there and you use that prompt for a cleaner approach to maybe what you're doing. Because sometimes it gets so deep into like gobbledygook, and you're taking it in so many different directions that, that cleaner version is going to be a better and faster development. So, well, that's all the time we have today. I'm Paul Engin.
And I am Dave Ghidiu. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Go to the website, check out the apps that all these people made. They are fantastic, and let's be careful out there, folks.
And share it with a friend, colleague. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and thanks for looking through the Immersive Lens with us.
This episode was engineered by Jeff Kidd.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Jen, for taking the challenge and coming back and being a part of this.
And now you're programmers, you're software engineers.
Oh, good. Good. Something new for my resume.
Recorded at Finger Lakes Community College Podcast Studios, located in beautiful Canandaigua, New York, in the heart of the Finger Lakes region, offering more than 55 degrees, certificates, micro-credentials, and workforce training programs. That was a lot.
You should vibe code like 11 labs this. So
I might, and we just hit the space bar.
Thank you to Public Relations and Communications Marketing and the FLX AI Hub.
Eager to delve into passion, discover exciting and immersive opportunities at www.flcc.edu.
As part of our mission at FLCC, we are committed to making education accessible, innovative, and aligned with the needs of both learners and employers.
The views expressed in this podcast are those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official position of Finger Lakes Community College.
Music by Den from Pixabay.
This is the Immersive Lens.